Yo, what's up, YouTube? It's your boy Joe Barber, and today's Friday, the 27th, I want to say. And I'm here at the barbershop already. It's about 10 o'clock. We open at 10, so I'm here. A lot of the things that I'm going through right now is just like my personal journey of trying to figure out who I am, what I want, like what I really want, not just like what people have. Kind of put into my mind into like what success is and what like what happiness is, what love is, what peace is. Like you may have an idea of it, but until you really go through it, especially when it's about like something that you're very passionate about, sometimes you're gonna feel the losses and you're gonna go through those things, and sometimes something inside of you is like, I don't know how to describe it, but it like something inside of your spirit sometimes breaks and it never kind of heals the same. It's like when you break a bone, you're always gonna have that weakness in there, and there's nothing you can do about it. I've tried to overcome, whatever obstacles in my life, and a lot of the things that make me who I am are also like a blessing and a curse because, yes, going through the upbringing that I had, which I wouldn't change, has empowered me in a lot of ways. But also with that comes trauma, and sometimes I project that onto other people around me, whether it's employees or whether it's friends or my significant other, whatever it may be. I have to be mindful of that stuff. So of course, we were never thought to, like sit down and analyze yourself and kind of fix yourself and be like, okay, what makes you happy? What makes you sad? What do you feel is something that you would change about yourself? A lot of times we don't even understand what our pride is. We don't understand what ego is. We don't understand, what jealousy is. We don't understand like these emotions and these feelings. And at the end of the day, really, your mind and your thoughts have to be stronger than your emotions. And it's hard to like even process that in my mind, like when I think about it, because I'm a very emotionally driven person. Ever since I was young, you tell me I couldn't do something, and I'd be like, what? Like, I'm gonna prove it to you. Or if someone, try to say something about me, I would try to turn that into a strength, and that has a lot to do with emotion. So it's very difficult sometimes to detach myself from what my history is and what's led me to be where I'm at. So, and it's just through self-reflection. A lot of times I would say Sundays is the best day for me to reflect back on my week. And honestly, writing stuff down on a journal is a lot easier for me. I don't like doing too much stuff on my phone like that when it comes to those things, but it's a lot, man. It's a lot. And I just share this with y'all because I want y'all to know that in life, man, like life, we're expected to be a lot of things, and a lot of those things we don't even comprehend or understand. We're not even like, honestly, we're not even consciously aware of a lot of the things that we do, that we don't do, or the effects they have on other people. Because a lot of times it's like, well, I'm doing what's best for me, which is okay. But then sometimes what happens is when you're doing what's best for you, someone over here has a different a different view, especially when it's your significant other, where it's like, well, how come I'm thinking about us and you're thinking about you? And it's like the miscommunication can also build blocks where you may have a great relationship, you may have a great whatever, and it's like it could all be torn down because of speculation, misunderstanding, miscommunication, and just a different belief system. That you may believe something, they may believe something, and they do things for a specific reason, or maybe they have those traits already, and you don't understand those traits because you were not raised on love, you were not raised on compassion, you were not, like me, I was raised on survival for most of my life. So to change that mindset, to understand patience, understand like self-reflection, understand, like working on myself like every day. It's one of those things that I'm like, man, you think about what is required of a man today. Well, now today's whatever, but what's required of a man is like you have to be respected. You have to be strong. You have to be a good father if you have kids. You have to, be in shape. You have to take care of yourself. You have to grow a beard, or you have to have muscles, or you have to have tattoos, or you have to have like a stable life. There's a lot of things that I feel like a lot of men feel like they need to have, and I know it's different for women too. But for me, it's like I see that, and I just think like, man, not only that, you have to have good credit. You have to be financially responsible. You have to be independent. You have to love your mom. You have to respect your dad. You have to there's a lot of boxes that they put us in. And sometimes we don't even understand. We just do them because if you do those things, then people view you a specific way. Your intent may not even be there. Your heart may not be in that. But because it allows you to put a cloak over yourself where you don't stand out as much, or you do stand out for the right reasons, because you demonstrate specific things. It's just all a mindset, and it just for me like this is all like big, like it's deep. It's really deep when you think about it and sit there. And a lot of times I want to be like, man, I don't care. I'm just gonna be myself. But then I'm like, well, who am I? Like, what am I? What if I wasn't cutting hair? If I wasn't cutting hair for money, if I was just cutting hair because I had enough money in the bank, would I still do it? And I wouldn't do it as much. I enjoy cutting hair. I love to cut hair, but I love the connection with people. I love hearing the stories of my customers and clients. I love keeping up with them. I love their support. Um, but it's very draining when you think of yourself as we're all just a big ball of energy, right? But I always compare myself to water. It's like every morning I'm a tall glass of water and I'm pouring into customers, I'm pouring into the barbers, I'm pouring into myself, or like things that I want to do, which is my artwork or working out or making these videos or updating my Instagram, updating my Facebook. Like you're pouring a couple of ounces here, a cup there. And then finally, when the day's over, sometimes we have nothing left to give and we just go home and we're just there and then we got to do it all again, all over tomorrow. So it's like, I've been through that myself. Like I've experienced that, and it's not a very fulfilling thing. So I had to think and be like, man, there has to be a better way. There has to be a better way. There has to be a better way to live life. And that's when I began like my spiritual journey, where I started thinking like, man, why am I here? Why did God create me? Why do I run into these type of people? Why do I have this cycle in relationships or in friendships where it's like the same people in different bodies? And why do I make so many mistakes? Why do I make so many assumptions about what people expect of me or what people think, and not so much in a way that I care what people think, but I'm interested in knowing, why do people think the way they do? Why do they have the patterns they have? Why do they have the expectations they have? Why do they have the traits they have, and in a psychological sense, I think about that. And the reason I started getting to that point is because, like, we're not in the haircutting business when you talk about barbers. We are in the people business. So for me, opening a school, I have to understand people. I have to understand how people learn, how people respond, how people, when people pull their energy back. I have to learn these things. And I have to learn that to run a business. Like, you have to learn what motivates your barber. Some barbers are not motivated by money. Some barbers are not motivated by fame or anything of that nature. Is like, they want to provide for their family. They want to build a foundation that they can eventually build their own brand and open up their own shop and have their own legacy, which is great. But with that you have to grow, and it doesn't happen overnight, man. It takes a lot. And I know there's a lot of barbers right now that are charging $50. They just got out of barber college like a year ago, and they're charging $50. And I'm like, damn, I got 20 years experience, so my haircut should be $100. Like, I think that way, and I'm just like, man, it's crazy because the world that we're living in now is very materialized, and I feel like a lot of people need to kind of learn who they are within, and it's hard to have that conversation with people because they look at me like I'm crazy. I'm like, you'll get to that point, man, because I've done a lot of things under the sun already, And what I value the most now is loyalty, honesty, someone that's authentic, someone that's genuine, someone that's empathetic, someone that is compassionate, and someone that's patient. Like all those things are the things that I value. And therefore, I have to be those things in order for me to attract those kind of people. I do want to become financially stable. I do want to become very independent and doing my own thing. But I also need to understand that it takes time, and it's just like another chapter in my life that I have to like really be patient with myself, because a lot of these thoughts go through my head at night, man, and I think, and I'm like, I want to be greater, I want to do better, I want to be more efficient, but a lot of times it's just a learning process, and sometimes you're not gonna have those people step in your life like automatically, like to kind of guide you. But I'm grateful that I've had people come in my life. Even now, like I had people that come into my life that matter to me and that have substance. I'm not all about like trying to look like I'm successful. Like I really want to be successful by changing people's lives. Like that's what I feel I'm here to do. I can do all the artwork. I mean, I just did this one, right? So y'all have seen this, and I've drawn pictures. I've paint pictures. I can do all that. I can put a damn portrait on a horse's butt. But I don't want to do that to fit in. I don't want to do that to kind of like for clout. My intentions are pure, man. I really want to do things to inspire people or to make a difference. And that's where I'm at. And financially, I want to be at a place where I don't have to think about money. I don't want to think about money. I want to be able to help people, and I want to be able to do what I want to do with my time, whether it's spending it with my kids or whoever I choose to spend time with. But it's a process. It's a real deep process, man. And I'm constantly trying to work on myself every day. I have good days. I have bad days. Today I'm booked up all day, but I really wanted to just take time to share this, like my thoughts with how your mind, man, has to overpower your feelings completely, because sometimes you may miss somebody, or sometimes you may feel guilty about something that you did, or someone did you wrong, and it's hard to let go of that. You know what I'm saying? And you constantly want to find a way to right your wrongs, but you can't change the past. You can't change the past. And sometimes it's like when we think about our feelings, like it's like getting out of bed. You think about it, you're like feelings are telling you like stay in bed. It's cold outside. Just chill for another 30 minutes, or be on your phone for another 30 minutes, or like don't move closer to your dream. Like I always talk about that with my customers. I say like, man, if people that were like super fans of the Cowboys or the Spurs or whoever, right? And I've been there. If we put the same amount of energy for cheering for ourselves, I promise you, man, we'd have a lot more successful people, and people that are like, reaching their goals, man. I really believe that. I think that, we get so dedicated to these teams because they represent something bigger than us. But I'm like, man, if you really you have that in you to support this football team or whoever it is that you love. But imagine if we did that for ourselves, just for a couple of months, and like just really like think about that. It's all a mindset. It's all a mindset. So yeah, man, when I do my self-developments in the morning, I love to meditate, and I want to go out to a park and just be by myself and just like chill, man, and try to get away from the society that we're in. It's like the expectations and the stress and the like, I don't know, man. I feel like there's always somebody pulling at me in another direction. And I've reached the point where I'm just like, I want to go in my direction. I want to go in whatever my divine purpose is to be here. That's the direction I want to go in. And it takes a lot of self-reflection. It takes a lot of daily, like, analyzing yourself. And like, what am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? What can I fix? Being very stingy with your time, being very stingy with your energy. It really takes that, man. It honestly does. And it's a lot of discipline. Doing the things that you said that you wanted to do, but then when you don't feel like doing it, you still do it. You still got to work out. You still got to eat healthy. You still got to be mindful of being hydrated. You still got to pay your bills. Still got to, do all these things. And in order for you to be at your, at your prime, I feel like it just takes a lot of self-discipline, self-reflection, And I'm beginning to understand that a lot more. Very clearly, I can see it. Um, I want to be able to manifest a lot of things in my life, and I feel like there's a lot of trauma that's blocking it because I'm not opening myself up properly. And the more I read, the more I understand. So hopefully this helps somebody out there, man, because I try to share and be transparent about everything. It's not always about the artwork or the haircuts, and I can do all that, but that's not who I am. This right here, like sharing this type of information, is what I am and who I am. But like I said, the talent is there, man, but I have substance, and that's what I search for in people in general. Like, I want someone that has substance, and I'm not perfect. I don't got it all figured out. I feel like there's so much more that I need to learn, but I know I'm on my way. I feel like I'm on the right path. And I just want people to understand that you have to align yourself with what your purpose is. And that's a question you got to ask yourself daily. Like, why am I here? Like, why do I keep doing this? Or why do I allow these people? Or why do I have this trait? Or why can't I overcome these things, whatever it is that you're facing? And really, you have to be held accountable for yourself. Like, you have to not blame your mom, not blame your dad, not blame your grandma, not blame your boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever. Don't blame society. I know I do that sometimes. I'm like, man. But in reality, it's you versus you. You have to make these decisions, and you have to hold yourself accountable. And I mean, you really got to write stuff down and say, okay, this is what I want to do. And these next weeks, this is what I want to accomplish. And these next months, this is what I want to accomplish. And this, by the end of this year, whatever, like, hold yourself accountable, man, and write stuff down. And whatever you don't hit, when you're wrong, say you're wrong. And when you're right, then, high five yourself, man. That's one thing that I could say that helps me. And try to not be emotionally driven. Like, when you're sad, don't get too sad, and when you're happy, don't get too happy. Celebrate and enjoy, but just be in the moment and keep pushing, because life's a journey, man, and it's not gonna stop. You're gonna have a lot of trials and tribulations come your way, but if you have the right mindset, you're gonna overcome a lot of that stuff, and nothing is gonna be so much of a loss. It's more gonna, be geared to you learn the lesson. Whether it's in relationships, whether it's in business, whether it's in friendships, whether it's in whatever you may think. But if you apply that mindset, I promise you, man, it's going to make a big difference. And I really feel like we all have a gift. We all have talent. We all have a way of achieving greatness in one way or another. So I believe that wholeheartedly. I really do, so. Either way, man, I just wanted to say that. So hopefully this message makes a difference. I appreciate all the people that view. I mean, I'm not getting a lot of views like I used to, which is okay, because I feel like God's going to lead the people that need to watch this video to see it. And if it's only 2 or 3 people and it makes a difference for one person, that's all that matters to me, man. So, all right, man. Well, y'all stay blessed and y'all stay faded.